map, and actually we'll get quickly into the pistol round of that first map of Overpass. This is London eSports' pick here for Overpass, so looking to get started on the right foot here, just having a little bit of a slow one for this pistol round. No straight out rushes onto any of the sites, but Soulcast has got a very good position here, pushed up through towards the water position, looking through that short tunnel, but Fry will open up the upper brackets finals with a kill onto the star player of Smooyers, the London Slayers. They'll get themselves out on towards the B site. Stanley will try to push up through short, finds Astro, tapping away, whiffs all the shots. All the kills, though, going the way of the CT side right now, as Thomas will try and chime in with 2, but Fry now is the only player left against 3 in this first pistol round. Bomb will be planted.
Oh, Fry's going to have to clear up, and they're going to sort him out. Fry, he's been... The jig is up. He has to now approach these angles, and London Slayers are going to give him nothing from it. They're playing it very, very structured, very team-like in their approach. Fry, he's going to move up forward, and they go for the double peek. London Slayers are able to secure the pistol round of this first map, and I'd like to make a small amendment. I'd said Pulse was a part of this.
Yeah.
But he is in this tournament, but not a part of London Slayers. It's instead Stanley. Yeah.
Yeah.
My fault. My fault.
Oh, well. The first of hopefully not many mistakes.
No, I mean... it's always hard to remember the full rosters of teams, especially when they're mixes.
Yeah, exactly. But second round's going to be up here. This is an interesting little stack here for London eSports, going for the boost up towards just outside the upper connector area. Stanley will actually try to pick into this one. Gets tagged down to 85, but that's all the damage that'll be done to him for now, as the CT side, they'll decide to back off to that A site, and then maybe have a look towards B as well once these London Slayers players get themselves out on towards the site. But Smooya, he's going to get a little bit frag hungry here with the MAC-10, trying to get as much money as possible. Only gets 1 kill, though, as Astro and Soulcast get kills of their own. So actually, the early advantage in this round going in the way of the eco players of the London eSports sides. Bomb is towards the B side of the map. There's no presence here from London eSports, so the Slayers can get themselves the bomb plant easy peasy. But having a man disadvantage at this stage, of course, it is still an eco, so it's still likely going to be the London Slayers coming away with this one. But we've seen some crazy eco rounds in this tournament so far, so don't count them out.
Yeah, there's no utility available, there's no kit. They do have the MAC-10 available on Dom, right? And so the main objective here is that if Dom can maybe farm a few more kills, maybe if they're able to take one of these rifles out of the hands of, say, like Thomas, then they'll happily take those as concessions in the round, not wanting to actually approach this as a full-on retake. This is still London Slayers' round to win, but it's going to be a little bit more strenuous on their economy, especially, Soulcast has found the kill into Stanley. That's another AK that's been recovered, but unfortunately no armor as well. He's going to go down to the bomb.
Eccles will save an AK though, but Soulcast dying to the bomb, not able to hold on to that AK-47, as we'll see the first buy round of the game come up here. We have to remember, though, that Mighty Max for the London Slayers team has still got himself on that UMP, so he's going to have to play around that one a little bit, as they'll drop themselves down towards the connector area. Early aggression coming out from the CT side, though, coming through mid. Ardis playing very, very close indeed. See if he can get any early picks. Here comes Smooya up towards the upper connector. Gets his head taken off completely by Soulcast. Ardis also chiming in with a headshot of his own on the AUG. Early advantage in round 3 goes to London eSports.
Yeah, and that's the bomb dropped in the connector as well. So London have that information to work with coming into this round. Although they have control of it, they're going to fall back. Having that 5 versus 3 like you had mentioned, holding on to that advantage is certainly crucial. And the further they play up, the less information that they'll actually be able to have going into those rounds, because it gives London this opportunity to sort of exploit the gaps in the defense and make use of those players should the London eSports defense start to sort of crumble around the edges. But it does seem like the place of contact will be here towards long, and Astro is holding it down with the AUG.
He is not scoped in. If he does, he'll give the sound cue at this point, as that's going to be Rom just crouched up behind that half wall, but Astro is able to land the shot. Doesn't even need the scope on that AUG to be landing headshots. But the rest of the London players, both of them in the toilet's position right now, slowly trying to edge their way out on towards this A site. Only one player on the site itself to try to defend. That is going to be Ardis. He does land the shot on towards Mighty Max, and Stanley, he is so low. He's on 3 HP. And you really have to count against him right now. So this looks to be a fairly comfortable first gun round coming out for London eSports, as Stanley gets himself closed in, and there's only a matter of time before he gets taken out of the equation. London eSports get their first round on the board.
So, taking that first CT round, London eSports are going to have a decent amount of money as well. The fact that they keep 5 alive in that type of an engagement, that really helps that CT side economy. It's one of those things that is sort of a nightmare scenario if you start on CT, is that if you do win a round, you instantly lose the next ones.
Yeah.
Obviously, this early into the game, it won't impact things too much, especially when you don't have to sort of rely on the loss bonus. But London Slayers, you can see how much damage was done in those previous rounds. They're only able to afford up 1 AK coming into this, and everybody else is reduced to pistols. They do have some utility to work with, so they can use those smokes to begin to isolate the London eSports, the amount of information that they're able to get, the amount of space that they can maybe prod towards that A site, especially with London making their way up bathrooms. I'd imagine they'd maybe spoke off Guardian so that they can clear connector, as well as maybe saving one of these smokes for an execute over towards A, but doesn't seem like they're even going to go with that. Not meeting any resistance, they're just going to try and contact all the way up towards that A bomb site.
Keeping hold of those shift keys as they walk through the toilets area, but a group of them will split off towards the long side of things to give this attack a multi-pronged nature. But still slowly does it for London Slayers. 50 seconds left remaining on the round, and all they've been able to do is just creep up towards that A site. 3 players here for London eSports to try and defend against the 4 sport players of the London Slayers. And now Artist, hopeful spam through the smoke, not going to connect it. It does connect one onto Rom, and that's the AK for the London Slayers. He has to be a bit careful because he is the most powerful weapon on that side at the moment. But the kills will come in thick and fast for London eSports. Rom making that AK really work, but not able to kill the 2 players there sitting at the truck position.
So what could... Okay, I was going to say, this could be interesting in that Artist may have actually brought up an AWP. Astro is a player that will typically favor that weapon. He's one of the sort of budding AWP players on in the UK. But considering this is London Slayers now on an eco, right, they understand the economic situation. It will instead be the SMG buy. I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe Artist gets dropped in connector, that they would reinvest into an AWP in the following round. But Artist, he's able to get 2 with the MP9. The grenade will do some damage and allow him to escape as they get tagged up. But Artist is going to continue to fight, and he's got his teammate there as backup. So it should be a pretty clean round here for London eSports. It's just Rom left with the P250 in hand. And this is looking like London eSports are about to get themselves up to 3.
Artist wanting those fat stacks of cash gained from getting kills with the SMG. London eSports in the lead at the moment, scoreline 3-2, and AKs will come back out for the London Slayers side. So this round may be a little bit more representative than rounds that have gone by. Let's see what the options are going to be, or the option is going to be, excuse me, for the London Slayers, heading their way up towards mid. Artist going to try to pick over the smoke. No, he's going to go up and towards Party and take the contact up through mid. Finds a good couple of players, actually not looking at him, but the thing is there from above there for Artist as he takes out Mighty Max out of the equation. Mighty Max, not going to see that coming at all. And now it rings, well, the sound just goes completely quiet across the map. London eSports taking a little bit of an explore up through B, and this is crucial information gained, especially from Fry, who's pushed all the way up through Monster. And it's just going to be a case now if the London Slayers actually check this position. They're walking right now, so they might suspect something is up. Does Rom check this? Does Thomas check this? Rom, oh, you just see he was thinking about checking it, but Fry lands the shot, but Thomas is able to trade out. 2v2 situation now, and the B bomb site is the target here. They can split up through short and up through Monster as well, but the thing is we do have Eccles on the flank coming up through connector, finds Smooya as he tries to push short. So 1 versus 2 for Thomas, one of the stars of the UK scene, isn't able to do anything as Eccles will close out the round for London eSports. A little bit of mid-round confusion there for the London Slayers.
Yeah, and it's a bit... So London Slayers, they do commit to the B bomb site. They didn't even really consider going back over towards A. Obviously, London could have potentially taken some real estate over towards that A bomb site, especially towards connector, like we did see Eccles actually push up. And that's something that London Slayers are going to have to be at least clued into. London eSports aren't going to just sit around and wait for them to commit to these bomb sites. They're going to take some initiative, especially with the star power they've got on this lineup. They're going to really try and take the fight to the London Slayers.
A little bit of a change of pace on these Bills pistols for Ardis. He's got a shooting gallery with the AUG, but Smooya manages to take him out with the Tech 9. They're able to recover the bomb back as well. He's a full rotation coming from the London eSports side, so the Slayers, they can back off this one, head themselves towards B, maybe get themselves a free plant, but look at the HP on those London Slayers players. Rom on 2 HP, Smooya on 1 HP. Very, very unlikely that anything will come off this round from these guys. And you just see the HP playing the factor in that round, just the one body shot taking Rom down, but Smooya, oh, the player's not checking position. Eccles, a critical error there, making sure that he should have made sure that he was clear from this position, but Smooya will be completely blind, allows Astro to take out, but takes Astro's head off. Smooya in 1 versus 2 now, but Solcast, he has his number and denies the ex-big player.
So the question is, do we call Solcast Dom, or do we call Solcast? Because he is also called Dom, so I feel like for clarity's sake, we'll stick with Solcast.
Yeah, that's the name on the overlay, so that's the name we'll use.
Yeah, fair enough. But London, this is a really good start to their CT side. They deal with the initial 2 rounds that London Slayers are able to get from the result of winning that pistol. But the London Slayers have been a bit disjointed here. They haven't been ready for these sort of multi-kills coming out from these London eSports players when they've pushed themselves in towards connector or towards bathrooms. And it maybe speaks a bit of a volume towards a little bit of a lack of preparation, right? They don't have quite as much structure. They're sort of calling things on the fly. But Ardis, he's about to be pressured here.
Oh no!
It actually blinds him up. Smooya, he's actually killed Stanley. He's denied the double there from Ardis.
Oh, what an absolute blunder. Oh my god, Smooya. He was the one that flew the flashbang as well, so he blinded himself, and in the process of blinding himself, he managed to get the TK. Oh my god. I have no other words for that, to be honest.
Well, Solcast, he's able to take down the bomb towards Monster. That's Thomas being dropped. It's now Mighty Max and Rom on the recovery. The smoke will be able to disperse the flames. Rom trying to push up through. Still only 1 player on this bomb site. Eccles has been overrun. Mighty Max coming in from short, put some additional pressure, and he falls right into the hands and loving arms of Rom. The bomb will be planted, but Astro, he's up close with the AWP, switching to the P250. He wants to go forward with this. The flash coming through, a counter flash as well. Ardis covering his left side. He's brought it to the 2-on-1. Max now needs to clutch things out here for the London Slayers.
Mighty Max needs to use all of his might here. Trying to creep out for Monster, finds the 1 frag onto Ardis. Astro immediately springs into action, holds him down with that AWP, but that Q is going to be paid from Astro. He somehow manages to land the shots with the P250 though, so the defuse will come in for London eSports. But I guess that the last player was just baited into the shot by Astro by firing off that AWP. Astro immediately pulled off the pistol and took the duel and won it in... It's such a weird fashion, but the P250, it is such a strong utility weapon, I guess, for the AWP. You know, because of the, you know, a brilliant movement accuracy, you can get dinked with it easy peasy. Yeah. So why not go for that sort of strategy? It's very risky, but...
I mean, it's arguably more risky to play with the AWP. Just because, like, if you miss that shot, suddenly you lose the round, right? Of course... For those of you that are tuning into the stream, we've got a little bit of a zoom in here on the London Slayers side as they discuss things during their tactical timeout.
Yeah.
Trying to find a different approach, because they haven't won any rounds since the first 2 rounds, right? They won the pistol, they managed to deal with the anti-eco. Of course, during that anti-eco, they only survived with 1 player. So
yeah, they did. Smooya just talking things over with his team, but gets his eyes focused back onto the game as we come towards the end of this timeout. Let's see if anything special comes out for the London eSports players in this round, as I believe it's actually technical pause.
It does seem it's a technical pause.
Okay, it's a technical pause, but of course, you know, I don't think they police the chatting during the technical pauses here, so they can just basically treat it as a tactical timeout as well. But we will get the 9th round going here, and as I said, maybe we'll see something fairly interesting come out for the London Slayers team. The early Molotov will attempt to delay them as at least Stanley heads his way out towards mid, but Astro holding long with that AWP on the top of the wall. finds Stanley as he tries to swing out in that position. And then Astro backing off to the A side to manage the defense from there. But it's going to be a B play for the London Slayers team. Solcast able to find Thomas, and the trade isn't quite there yet. Smoothie does get himself a frag to his name as well, as they try to whittle down these B players, but it doesn't seem to be all that successful right now. Solcast and Eccles playing really well off each other.
Yeah, and you can see immediately after Astro gets that pick, they just immediately back away from A. All their A-side presence now goes to reinforce their B hit because they don't want to be going into the AWP of Astro. They don't have the utility to really flush him out of position. And so London Slayers are really hoping that London eSports try to get some information here. They're going to be a bit starved. Although they have the man advantage, they don't know where they're going. Smooya making his way up short. Rom still trying to keep this player in position at the barrels. They've overwhelmed the two defenders on the B-bomb side. Artis is still playing close, though. They're not peeking the bridge.
No.
Max is going to get taken down. The bomb plant has been denied. It's now onto Rom and Smooya, and both of them are tagged. Astro rotating in with the AWP. He's going to be taken out of the round. An immediate trade there from Artis as he gets 2 on the hold. And London eSports, they'll continue their run here.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. And London Slayers not expecting 3 players to be still on the B bomb site. Artis not being checked, playing close, able to deny the bomb plant, and that just swings the advantage so much in their favor as the other players actually had to cross to try and get to the bomb site to get that bomb planted once again. So London eSports getting themselves their 7th round on the board as a fast connector play comes out for the London Slayers on those CZs. We've got a Tech 9 on Smooya as well, being the weapon of choice for him. A couple of flashbangs and Molotov to use as well on any particular take they want to manage as they get quick control of the turret's position. But the thing is, at this point, they will start to go slowly instead.
Yeah, smoke in front of the bathrooms are going to get grouped up behind it. Of course, they do have utility to make this work. They're going to set themselves up for the execute on towards that A site. Artis playing up close to the org. He misses the first few shots after able to eventually capitalize on the kill, but he needs to back away. These pistols are going to be running him down. Smoked out from the bank. Eccles is going to cheat his way forward, and he gets overrun. So he doesn't get the memo. Astro, wow. He was completely abandoned Eccles there as Eccles tried to support him and help him out. And suddenly, London Slayers have the advantage, and these post plants are dangerous.
Oh, very, very dangerous indeed. Rom able to find a kill with the CZ on Fry, and Mighty Max also finding the headshot onto Astro. It's only Solcast against 4 players. Thomas is very particularly low, but the thing is, all of these players do have armor that they bought with their upgraded pistols, and Solcast, he'll just slowly but surely back out and save that org into the next round, and finds Thomas as he does a little bit of a 180 to find him, and he'll be able to save that org on the B bomb site. But that was a little bit of a sketchy moment there for London eSports. Just a little bit of a miscommunication there on the A bomb site, just isolated the 1v1s, and then all of a sudden the London Slayers were just able to overwhelm the site with those pistols, pick themselves up a couple of rifles, and that's the round theirs. And
that's a huge swing round for London Slayers. Their economy wasn't in the best of spots. That was them half buying into the round. And now they're able to afford up every bell and whistle that they would have wanted with these saved weapons, with these, as well, the residual cash available should they lose this round. It'll be tough for London eSports because they'll need to win a couple in a row, whereas they have no cash left available. They're down to just 550 at most, or 700, sorry, on Eccles.
Yes, they are. Connector control gained from the London Slayers team. Eccles looking for some early information, but the first frag of the round will go the way of Rom. This time onto Brian. Solcast random spam through the smoke, tags Rom down to 22 HP. Simply not enough for Solcast to get that frag. He'll still try and just attempt to find something through the smoke, but no one will present him with the opportunity to do so right now. All of the London players are stacked outside of this B bomb site right now, and it might just be the B split up through short, up through monster. They have no map control on any other part of the map. It's just a case of the waiting game right now. Solcast getting the frag onto Thomas. Smooya able to trade out. Artis getting one of his own onto Stanley, but can't find any more. His Mighty Max spams him through the wall. Eccles now, the only player left on his B bomb site, trying to defend. He'll have to buy so much time for the rotations to come in from Astro, who heads his way up towards heaven with that AWP, finds Mighty Max. So that's the bomb going to be dropped there, back on short. So one of these C players actually has to cross back to short to recover the bomb. I'm not sure if London eSports know that. I think Eccles can see the bomb from there. So we imagine to find the up kill on towards Eccles. And now Astro. What is the play from here? 22 seconds left on the clock. He'll have to walk all the way back up to heaven. Was the information relayed that the bomb was down on short? That is the question. He'll maybe look for the wall bang on towards the site. Does not go for it. A little bit more time gained here for the London Slayers to get themselves into a little bit better position. That smoke on the site can confuse things somewhat. They know exactly where Astro is at this point, as he'll try to find an angle with that AWP, but the Slayers are just so disciplined here. He can try for the wall bang, but it's not going to connect at all. Time ticking away, and Astro, he gives up.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way that he commits there. He was only really going to try and go for that if London Slayers were going to give him opportunities. If he decided to commit, there's very few opportunities through which he's able to get back into the round, especially with that forward post plant there from Smooya. Like you said, they knew where he was just based on his own positioning. They cancelled out that as an avenue of attack or a retake there for Astra in that given situation. And we talked about the money coming into the previous round and the impact it'll have on this round if they lose, and they did indeed lose that round. So Astra will have the only rifle available for the London eSports side. It is the AWP.
It's a big rifle.
Oh yeah, it's one of the biggest rifles you can afford, of course. But London eSports, they really need to rely on this AWP here on Astra to be able to find these picks. But it's not seeming like he's going to be given too many opportunities. Artist is playing alone towards the connector, playing a bait setup there from Astro, and that's going to be fantastic work to get an opening frag. Smooya does contain them within the bathrooms, or contains them within connector for now. He does have his own AWP. Artist able to recover an AK as a result of that kill.
Smooya with an AWP, definitely a deadly prospect, but he hasn't made that much of a statement so far in this game. Artist, though, having a little bit of an explore, a little bit of a push, and Mighty Max punishes him for doing so. So maybe it was just an information play there, perhaps, for Artist, or just, you know, maybe getting a little bit greedy, but Solcast. Oh my word, Thomas, okay. Doing his best Magisk impression there in the face-hit major, just getting the headshot as he jumps up and checks the boost, but the B-take will start to come through for London Slayers. How does Franken think through the smoke? That is just absolutely ridiculous, but the bomb will be planted here for the London Slayers, but my god, some crazy shots.
So, now Eccles and Fry are going to try and act as bodyguards for Astra to be able to save this AWP. He's had his round of impact, or his frag of impact, rather, I suppose, for this round, and they weren't able to really capitalize off of it. They've given Artist an additional rifle, he's still isolated in connector, and the London Slayers are able to get onto that B-bomb site. So if they can keep this AWP still alive, there's certainly some prospect of walking away with a round win going into the next round. I imagine they'll invest a little bit further. It really depends how London eSports want to approach this, because what they can do, of course, is buy up, but they'll be lacking some of the utility that sort of mitigates the rush pushes. Maybe some of the utility that they would want to take aggressive mid-control. They could Molotov off the stairs so the London Slayers players can sort of contest it. But we'll have to see how things go. And it does seem that they are full buying into the round. Just before we swapped, we saw a couple of orgs being bought up.
Yeah, and we have a little bit of a pause here, as we may be able to see if that one's a tactical or technical. We can't actually see that on our overlay, so we have to wait for our producers to actually say which one it is. But as we can see, the view of the London Slayers players.
You might as well just call them the Slayers.
The Slayers. I'm just it's probably easier because you know, the confusion with the London eSports Slayers, etc.
They're named the London Slayers, of course, because they knew London eSports was going to be attending the event. They know that they're probably the best team in the UK, and you know, these guys being cheeky decide to name themselves the Slayers, because if they do actually take them out of the tournament, then suddenly they've done what they came here to do, right? They've taken out the best team in the UK as a mix. So.
It was a tactical pause for the London eSports players. So let's see what they can do on this once again. CT buy for them. 4 orgs and an AWP. New meta.
This is Counter-Strike right now.
Yeah, this is CSGO.
I mean, the thing is, like, there are certain maps where this type of a setup certainly favors the AUG versus the M4, right? You've got these long engagement angles. Okay, never mind. London Slayers, they're not even going to care about those long engagement angles. They're going to go stampeding onto that B-bomb site. the first player immediately getting taken out. Eccles as well dropped. Soulcast trying to stay alive as long as possible, dancing around the smoke. Stanley is able to line up the trade eventually, and this is a round of no contest here for London Esports. They've only been able to find the 1 kill. These players are so far away from being able to contest the bomb site. This is likely just a save again here from that CT side.
I do like the change of pace there for the Slayers. Might just secure them the 6th round of the game. We do have a little bit of a fight that might happen in towards T-Spawn, as Artist will try to hold on to that org, will actually hold on to it, just taking Rom out of the equation. He'll still be pushed though, as we still get a view of Astro there, but finally we will get ourselves switched to Artist here in this particular situation. Getting pressured, trying desperately to hold on towards that, on that org, finds the one. Not able to find Smooya though, as he lands a shot. Astro though, he will most likely save the AWP here. Not enough time for Money Max to be able to rip that one out of his hands, but London Slayers, that was quick and clinical out onto the B site, and like, you know, can't explain anymore.
And one of the consistent sort of fraggers for the London Esports side isn't really pulling his weight. I usually like calling out players, but Fry is really a consistent rock for the London Esports side, and he's currently sitting on the 2 frags.
Yeah.
It's obviously there's a lot of factors that go into that, but he is typically their rock, and the rock has been shaven clean.
Oh, Astro lands the shot on the Stanley. He's still got that AWP, even though the rest of his team are on the on the half-port pistols. They do have armor. Artists will actually recover an AK from Stanley's dead body, so that's an advantage they can have for the rest of this round, though. But Rom, he's currently posted up on by Astro, but Astro will change his angle. Slightly more worried about short at this point in the round. He does have the support on the site in the form of Artist, so the weaponry on this site for the CT side is what you'd usually see in a buy round, except the utility isn't quite there for them. London Slayers, though, they're just running down the clock, just keeping London Esports guessing. London Esports don't have any control of the map right now, so they have no idea if this is a true B hit. As finally, the Slayers will all stack up outside Monster. It might just be a shooting gallery if they go out one by one, and Astro lands the 3 AWP kills.
That is crucial there for Astro to be able to find those picks, and you saw how hesitant he was to take those fights because he wasn't sure if there was going to be a split on that B-bomb site. He's very concerned about short the entire duration of that push, and the London Slayers, they just couldn't take him out. They knew where his position was, and they had no utility to deal with it. That's one of the cruxes of pushing all from the same avenue, is that you cannot go for that 2-pronged attack, and it gives so much more space to sort of maneuver around those sites. Astro, though, he'll continue his good form from the previous round. Stanley taken out immediately from that round. Pushing past the smoke. Oh, Artist, he's getting a little bit cheeky with it. He's going to push past it, and Rom, he is going to be holding it. London are going to concede that the 1-man advantage coming into this round, considering Astro got a very early pick-off. Typically, when you see that happen as well, you'll see the team fall back, but it seems like there may be a few different ideas on the London Esports side, especially when the Slayers have been able to kind of claw back a few rounds here. Obviously, it was 7-2 at one point, and then now London up to the 6 rounds.
Yeah, just these little errors actually settling in for the London Slayers. That team flash as they tried to get the push through. Are we going to be seeing a little triple boost? Is that the triple boost? Oh, they're going to go for it. Smooya going to be boosted up with the AWP, trying to find a pick on towards the A site, but will anyone be within his sights? Eccles is playing on site, he's playing default though, and Smooya might have just picked up the sound cue. There we go, the triple boost works out for Smooya as he'll pick off Eccles on the A site. Astro though in toilets with his own AWP, lands the shot onto Mikey. Max turns around, the 180 works, Astro finds the second as well. He's going absolutely nuclear, looks at the wall bang, not able to tag Thomas down. Thomas, he'll get the bomb planted, but oh my word, Astro. Oh,
what a round! What a round from Astro to get the kill there from toilets to spin around on the site.
Jesus! I think we just need to catch a breath, to be honest. Oh my God, we'll get into the second half of this game. What a final round of the first half we have just had. More of that, please. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. But London eSports now on the T side with the Slayers having to take the defensive role on the CT side. Second pistol round of this particular map. This is, of course, London eSports' pick, and they'll lead on to half-time, but it's not as comfortable of a lead on the CT side as they perhaps wanted, because the Slayers can snowball on this CT side.
They're ready for this. There's three of them there.
Getting curious. He'll be met with a good couple of Ts as they pick him. He only finds the one, though, as Eccles is able to trade out. And now where do London eSports go? They'll head up towards upper connector. They'll head towards A as well. They've got two players pushing long, but they will meet no resistance so far because we do have Thomas that's currently playing on that A site alone. So he could be easy pickings if they all go together, but Fry, he's well ahead of the curve here, but still manages to find Thomas. So that is A site completely open, and Fry, he'll have to push up through towards Garbage now to try and cut off some of these rotations. They've already come up. Mighty Max there, just sitting at the Garbage position, will flash himself over up through the smoke, and doesn't catch anyone, but he almost managed to find the frag on towards Fry, but now a 4v2 situation. The CT's at the man disadvantage on this pistol round. There's the pistol round bought CZ there on Rom, which is a very interesting decision. He doesn't have any armor, as that bomb will take away no kits either on the London Slayers, so they have to do this pretty quickly, but Fry is able to find the kill on towards Rom. Stanley picks up one of his own in reply, but that bomb is too far gone at this point. You have to argue as he'll get pressured through Garbage. Manages to catch Soulcast in the head, but the round is done. He has no defuse kit, and London eSports will win the second pistol round of map 1.
A great pistol round for London eSports to be able to attain, and it's a huge testament as well to holding on to that utility for the post plants. You saw as soon as Mighty Max pushed through the smoke and lost his defuse kit towards those steps, they wanted to pursue that avenue. They wanted to be able to retake from that position, but all the counter utility came out from London eSports. They threw a couple of flashbangs through. It really delayed those rotations from coming through, and the smokes were just non-stop. The London Slayers could not progress up onto the bomb site, and London eSports are able to lock it down. But now going into this round, London Slayers are going to be on the force buy. Smooya on the scout, everybody else on upgraded pistols. A couple of Deagles, a couple of CZs, some diversity amongst the Slayers as they look to see if they can do as much damage as possible. Try even to open the door using the grenade to maybe capitalize on Fry being caught unaware, but I really hope he would be gifted a kill there.
Sorry. I got a little bit confused there. I just lost my bearings a little bit. I thought Fry was trying to go for a knife kill or something like that on his own teammate. I'm stupid on occasion. Let's just look past that. But London eSports,
it does seem like the majority of them are set up on that A bomb site.
Yeah.
So it seems like London eSports have made the right call by starting to move towards B. They've got a player over towards connector already. Obviously, Fry established control very early. It's only two players here for the London Slayers. It will be Max and Stanley to try and lock things down. But the longer they wait, the more likely it is a play like this happens for the London Slayers. They get aggressive, trying to find some information for their team to work with, and Rom's going to find the kill on the backstab from Astro. That's a rifle that's recoverable, and that's going to prompt the aggression here from eSports.
Mighty Mac can't find any kills, but Stanley, oh my god, he gets the 2 Deagle kills. But he'll go down himself by the hands of Fry, as Thomas can't do anything on the site defense either. Smooya able to pick one up with that scout headshot, though. Gets spammed up through the smoke, has to peek around the side. Smooya's holding this angle, gets tagged down to 5, and Smooya pulls out the USB to win the round for the Slayers. The defuse will come in, but again, that was a just a force buy there from the London Slayers that did manage to work out. That initial Deagle kill on the lurker of Rom really started to open things up because they knew at that point, okay, Rom's here, he's not with anyone else, it's probably going to be a big hit, so they can get themselves even just mentally prepared for a take.
Yeah, and the problem there is because, like you said, they knew the game was up. London eSports immediately start collapsing on towards that B bomb site, and one of them even pushes through a smoke, right? The Stanley being able to get 2 kills from Monster there, it delays them long enough such that London Slayers are in a good enough position to deal with the progression onto the bomb site. And I mean, the fact that he's gotten those 2 kills untraded to start things off is certainly a bit concerning. But London eSports are going to take this round a bit slow. Obviously, only upgraded pistols. They're looking to see if London Slayers would get a bit aggressive, considering that they had just won their first CT-sided round. But they will be met with no presence here thus far. instead playing back towards the bomb sites on that CT side. They're going to allow a lot of space here for London eSports to progress, but Smooya opens things up. The smoke deployed straight afterwards. Thomas there to clean up the next 2 kills, as Smooya will now be able to lock things down. So both of the A-site players are able to completely demolish London eSports there. Obviously, minimal investment there from the T side. This is now really the test. This is a gun round versus a gun round, as we had obviously did see London eSports concede one versus the force buy. But we'll have to see how much control they're able to establish early on with the sort of minimal amounts of utility they've got available. They've got 3 smokes, a couple of Molotovs, and only a trio of flashbangs.
They do. Options can be somewhat limited, but Thomas, he'll get very aggressive here, coming up through mid and towards playground, but Soulcast is actually ready for him, completely domes him in the head, but Stanley is completely blind, unable to deal with Eccles as he pushes up through short. So the early CT aggression hasn't really paid off here for the London Slayers. Mighty Max will perch himself up onto the little bit of a slope there at the back of Monster, but Smooya, he's having a little bit of an explore down the connector, excuse me, but oh my god, he somehow sees Astro in the smoke there, gets spam from Fry, and Fry will actually end the spam onto him. Absolutely, just the weirdest situation there that somehow Smooya was able to save. Did you see his feet just right on the bottom of the smoke?
Spotted him on the radar.
On the radar. Oh, the old Astralis trick.
Yeah, that is the trick. The smokes are fading. The radar spots you out before you actually are able to see the full outlines of the player, and so that gives up the game for Smooya. He just starts spraying wildly, and obviously some of those bullets did end up connecting. Oh, ooh, that's fantastic from Fry. Mighty Max B getting to reposition towards Heaven. He's given up the B bomb site towards the London eSports side. Rom, he's going to be left into this 1 versus 2. The grenade will give up his position as well, so London eSports will deploy counter utility. Rom only able to approach from Monster at this timing. London eSports, they should be clued into this, holding the position. Soulcasters is a duel. Rom, one more player to find, but Fry is able to blindside him, and London eSports will win their gun round versus the London Slayers. And the economy for the London Slayers isn't exactly the best to buy back up. There's a couple shortcomings, of course, but they are going to be able to force back in. Smooya on the AWP, crucially.
Yep, as I said, always a scary prospect when he gets onto his primary weapon, but that one tap from Fry though, that was a pretty sweet one. Thomas though, ending his way down connected, just tries to establish some control for the CT side, throws the smoke to just keep the T side guessing in that situation. Fry is going to be behind that one, as some of the London eSports players, exactly 3 of them, are going to head themselves towards that short water position just outside B. That grenade won't connect with anyone, even though it looked pretty close. But again, a slow round coming out for London eSports guys. They can show that they can go fast, they can go slow, no matter which way they can pick up the rounds nonetheless, but going to be needing a little bit more to make sure this map 1 is secure for them. But look at that, we've got the rotates already come in for the London Slayers. They've got 4 players ready and waiting to defend this big bomb site. Mighty Max looking for the spray up through Monster, not going to connect with anyone though, as he'll go up onto his typical perched up angle on this Monster position. That's extra smoke will go down just to delay things. 50 seconds left on the clock as the push through short will start to come through. Mighty Max, can he line them up? No, he only can get 1. Artist with the Mac 10 needs to find it, but Stanley and Rob will all chime in with kills. And that is the B-take completely collapsing under its own pressure there for London eSports.
And that's, I think, the second time that they've tried to go for that B play, where they go straight through a smoke towards Long Monster. Stanley's playing up close. He's able to find 1 player in the back, as well as win out his duel towards Monster, and it just segments the attack there from London eSports, because they know they need to track down that kill. Opens up so many more opportunities, so much more space for the London Slayers to be able to spring into action and maybe even save Stanley if they're given that chance. But Smooya, he's posted with the ult, misses the shot just narrowly. He's going to reposition off of the back of that. Did miss out on the first player. He didn't have the best spawn to go for that pick, but he still decided to go for it. Thomas will be able to get 2 kills as Smooya escapes with his life, so an AUG will be conceded, but Smooya, he's going to actually get more aggressive. The grenade, I think, as well, to blow the rifle away from them, and Rom's going to be able to get an additional kill.
Yep, he will. Ardis going to get boosted up on the bench, and Smooya not able to land the flick onto him, but gets the re-peek directly onto Ardis' head and finishes up the round with a kill onto Fry as well. And again, that was a bit of just an upgraded pistol by there for London eSports, but still, London Slayers, that, you know, the individual talent is definitely there. It's just that they had a little bit of a struggle on their T side, but on the CT side, they are starting to work their way back, just taking reasonable duels where they have the advantage, especially when you get the spawn up towards mid, where you can go for that mid pick.
Yeah.
They've only played aggressive on mid when they've actually had the spawn for it.
So the London eSports side will just group themselves up outside of that monster tunnel, waiting and waiting for the utility to be expended. But they were hoping that they wouldn't lose anybody. They didn't even get the opportunity to fight back. Rom spamming through the smoke, gets the first. The trio of frags as he lines up the spray down. Again, running through that smoke. London eSports have been punished a number of times already for plays exactly like that. It suddenly just echoes in the 1 versus 5, sees that in hand, and you cannot even find a singular kill at the end there. London Slayers successfully tie up the game at 11-11.
They do. They're working themselves back into this map of Overpass. It's London eSports' pick, and if you've been paying attention to HLTV, you will know that the Slayers' pick was Mirage, which is the map we're going to go on to after this, with a decider map on Dust 2. And if you've been paying attention to the Epic Land 26 proceedings here for the CSGO Championship, you will know that we've already had an overtime on Dust 2, but Thomas getting the lineup, only able to find one as the trades will fly out, fly up onto the kill feeds, and it's suddenly a 3v3 situation, and Stanley, he can get a little bit of a backstab kill here if he does find Fry. Oh, he doesn't look behind him. He does finally start to check it, but Fry's already made his way through. This could be catastrophic here for the Slayers if they do not realize it. But Rom, he lands the flick there, or directly onto Fry's head. That could have been a huge play from Fry, but Rom completely denies it. But here we go, out towards the B site. That's caused enough of a distraction for the London eSports players to get themselves an advantage here as Eccles, he will find Mighty Max playing Graffiti, and now it's a 2 versus 2 retake for the Slayers.
Eccles made a bit of noise there, so London Slayers will know that he's playing close towards that balcony. Stanley will have to be the man of the hour, pushing up through short all by his lonesome. He needs to build some space here for Rom, but Eccles has found the frag. Stanley in the 1 versus 2, and Astro takes him out. So London eSports able to edge forward once again into the lead. London Slayers, still with a lot of money at their disposal, can rebuy and can potentially tie the series up once again, but this is about as close as we expected coming into map number 1. This is obviously the first and the second seed teams in this tournament. So I expect it will be close a fight and a close affair all the way through. Astor somehow able to get out alive, down to 34 HP. That looked like a lot of his body was showing there. I guess the bullet just clipping through the wall means that he will be able to hold onto that AWP for the London eSports side for now. And the Slayers are beginning to aggress up between not only just A-Long, they went through Monster Tunnel as well, and Rom's found the first kill.
Oh, the battle of the spam through the wall, and Smooya managed to get a kill, same with Stanley as well, so all of a sudden, this round swings in the favor of the London eSports. Smooya not able to land the next kill on towards the player that's playing deep in Banana. That is Astro, and I don't think this is going to be the first time that the AWPers for both sides will be dueling it out on the server. Astro, though, he's been landing some nutty shots. He landed at 180 a little bit earlier on, which was just absolutely crazy, and Smooya needs no introduction, of course. But how will they manage their battles around the map? What is the decision here for London eSports? Of course, they can go for the split up through long, but the thing is, Thomas, he'll hear the sound cue of Astro trying to jump up onto the wall. He has to be expecting this at this point, and he does. He flicks onto his head, and that's the bomb going to be down as well. Soulcast managing to trade one back, though, on towards the A site. It's still a 1 versus 5 that he has to manage, but Smooya, he's going to say no.
Spams him straight through the smoke as it's deployed. London Slayers have equalized at 12 once again, and this is more dire straits here for London eSports. They win the round and immediately lose the very next. So it will be, I believe, a tactical pause if I'm reading the room correctly.
We always have to get confirmation of this. Interestingly enough.
I'd imagine this is imagine it's a tactical pause here from London eSports, because as we can see, their money is not in the best of states. They've got $3,700 on Astro, $3,250 on Soulcast, and everybody else just about $1,400, right? So it becomes a question about what you're able to afford and whether you go for an investment, because of course they're only on that first round loss. So $1,400, then 1800 or 1900. It's going to be a slow progression to get back into things, and that will allow London Slayers a lot of space to be able to mount a successful lead.
I find it funny because like we have the view of the London Slayers players, all that's their group of 5,
Yep.
and of course they have a a little bit of a spectating party behind them. But there are PCs on those desks on the opposite side, so obviously whoever's PCs those are not able to sit
Oh yeah,
at
that
those
happens.
PCs right
That happens
now.
all the time. At this,
So,
yeah.
so some people might be a little bit mad about that. But
I mean, this is the highlight game of the tournament, basically.
yeah.
This game and obviously the grand finals are going to be probably the two toughest contests for either of these teams, and obviously both these teams trying to secure that slot in the grand finals.
Fast out onto the B side for London Esports with their pistol. Soulcast able to open things up from the side, but the thing is the trade kills immediately come out for the London Slayers, able to hold on to things. Astro picks himself up an AUG, so that's something he can bring into the next round. But oh my god, he's going to creep up towards Mighty Max, hiding behind the barrel, but the thing is Mighty Max will spot him and make sure his brain is splattered all across those barrels. But London Slayers around that they should have definitely won, and they did, so there's absolutely no problems with that one. But it's still not going to be the best of buys here for London Esports, because MAC-10s, 3 MAC-10s, 2 AKs, it's not ideal, so they're starting to run out of steam.
And because they've got these SMGs, they're more likely to make some sort of a fast play, because they want to be able to create that space and maybe close the distance on the sort of range advantage that London Slayers have. Obviously, the 4 Orgs in play and the AWP, that's about as range heavy as it gets outside of maybe a 5 AWP or a auto sniper setup. So this will be a tough one for London Esports. Getting map control using the utility that they have is the most crucial point for them, just so that they can try and bridge the gap between the equipment available. And so far, they've had minimal success on this B-bomb site. They've been able to creep forward in maybe a couple 2v3s and clutch situations, but it has typically been that London Slayers have been able to lock it down, and because they've pushed in through middle, the game is up.
Yep, exactly. Stanley pushed up, but his angle finds 2. Able to stem the bleeding on the B-bomb site, as Thomas is also able to hold as well. Eccles in a 1 versus 3 with a MAC-10. Molotov and smoke in hand. Molotov will get used to force Thomas to peek, but Thomas will know that he has the weaponry advantage due to obviously the weapon noises that happen on towards the B side. So London Slayers getting themselves onto 14, and we have to remind ourselves that this is London Esports' pick, so this is not going to plan for them at all, but we always knew that this was going to be a close game. It is the number 1 and the number 2 seed in this entire tournament. Smooya with the fast peek up towards middle, not able to land the shot, and will immediately back off instead of getting greedy and going for any re-peek. Thomas is also here ready and waiting, but Fry has pushed through the smoke, coming up through connector, and Stanley, he's not looking the right way. Oh, he's going to get himself a AUG for that as well onto Fry, so the numbers advantage going the way of the London Esports side right now, as Smooya tries to hold strong on this long position. Will eventually back off, well, not back off there, he will re-peek it, but this time with the help of Thomas, ready and waiting there to trade in case Smooya gets into a couple of issues, but Thomas will take the duel on his own regardless, and then will eventually back off, back towards the A side. But oh, Eccles, okay. He's got himself a 1D gone towards that A side. We didn't exactly see it, but that could be the slight opening. The door is ajar, but of course ajar is not a door in this situation. I think that's pretty obvious, but Smooya going for the jump peek in long and just trying to gain some information here. He is getting pushed through long. It's just a case of whether he looks back in time, as he'll get pushed through toilets as well. The Molotov will go down to try to delay, but he's the only defender of this A bomb site, and now the T site can get that bomb planted and get themselves immediately going to save. Yeah, exactly, because it's such a, Mighty Max and Rom had such a long rotation there that by the time they get to that A site, London Esports could literally be anywhere, and they still have 4 players alive. So your chances of winning that retake are so slim.
Yeah, the London Esports. I mean, that the way in which they were able to collapse on that bomb site, the fact that they split Smooya up like that, and he spots them out so late. It opened up so many opportunities. As soon as he gets overwhelmed, the London Slayers, they'd hoped that he was able to maybe get a kill or 2, keep himself alive, maybe delay the bomb plant from going down. But because they're not able to get much ground towards CT, like you had said, London Esports could be pushed up forward. They could be in a numerous set of post plants. And that's a lifeline here for London Esports. That was a round that they really had no business winning.
Yeah.
And if they had lost that, that would have been London Slayers at 15, securing at least an overtime and getting themselves to a map point. But now this is the true test. London Esports, they need to be able to convert these gun rounds. This is where they've somewhat struggled on this T side. There's been some marginal successes, but London Slayers, especially towards that B bomb side, have been able to lock things down. So London Esports instead are just going to go for a bit of a default here. And I don't know that they'll be expecting that boost over in connector. They drop off it.
Yep.
Eccles is safe.
He is for now, as those two connector players to the CT side decide to push their way up, but Fry will punish that. Finding Thomas Smuya is here as well, trying to get the trade kill onto Fry, but Fry is so disciplined right now. That Molotov is not going to do anything. Now Smuya knows he's playing close onto that right-hand angle, but Fry just keeping himself very well hidden for now. And Eccles is sitting in the smoke here. This is an interesting play for him. I'm not sure they quite expect this one as Eccles. Yep, they will. They will wonder what that smoke is, and Eccles, it's an interesting play, I guess is the way you could describe it, but didn't work out. But sometimes when you see an odd smoke somewhere, you're thinking, hang on, that's not supposed to be there.
Something's not quite right here.
But out on towards the bomb sites, the London Esports players will try to go, as it's suddenly a 1 versus 2 situation for Fry. Bomb is down on long, 30 seconds remain. Smuya on 8 HP. Meanwhile, Stanley, he's got his full bill of health, but Smuya, he only needs 1 shot with that AWP and finds it onto Fry. So London Slayers, they have 2 match points. Or rather, not match points, but map points. I'll get it right.
Yeah. So this is again, London Esports have been really struggling to be able to chain rounds together on that T side. When they see success in one round, they're unable to replicate that going forward into the next one. That may be a testament to London Slayers having that experience to be able to adapt on the fly with those setups, and maybe even anticipating what London Esports are going to be bringing into those rounds. You see in this one, they've got an SMG on Artis, Eccles down to a CZ. The rest will have AKs, but there's certainly a few missed Molotovs or maybe a few flashbangs that they would have liked to have brought into this round to give them some better opportunities. But this is a great position here from Eccles. That if London Slayers go for any sort of information towards short water, he'll have at least the knowledge that they've secured that, and maybe able to be even able, to capitalize on a kill. So it comes down to whether London Slayers are going to give them those opportunities, as they are playing this round out extremely slowly. But if London Esports are going towards that A bomb site like they seem to be setting themselves up for, there are 3 players in close proximity here for London Slayers.
Smuya might just be the first point of contact for London Esports as they get themselves up towards the A site, and it is. Smuya lands the shot. Thomas with the ball, does try and delay, peeks out. Smallcat will take off his head. Smuya lands another shot as well, as Smuya will get a kill in the fire as well. And Smuya, he is completely demolished London Esports' take of this A bomb site. Eccles, the only player left on the B lurk, and he's giving all the sound cues right now, but somehow finds Rom. He brings it down to a 1 versus 2, but only with 28 HP.
Yeah, 20 seconds remaining on the clock as well, a 1 versus 2, and as you said, such low HP. He's not going really fast enough to be able to go for this. He needs to be able to get all of the kills, and Smuya is going to deny him even that.